Guys? This is David, and the compliments of Crown Royal. This is HO Powered Train, and we're going to run a train and talk about it's your railroad, and only you know how it performs. Okay. With that said, are you still listening to the cereal box salesmen out there? The ones trying to sell you something for clout and money and trying to make you believe something. Just because it works on their railroad does not mean it will work the same on your railroad. So that's very important, and that's going to be the topic that we're going to talk about. There are things that go into play, such as building a model railroad, and radiuses and everything. But again, don't listen to the cereal box clout chasing salesmen out there, if you know what I mean, and do your own research and do your own things to have your own railroad perform for you. That's what's most important, and I know that by saying that because I do that over here. I do my own stuff, and everything works out the way it's supposed to work out because I'm the only one that knows how my stuff works. Okay. So again, I will ask: are you following the cereal box railroaders out there? Honest question. So let's see. Hey Blake, what's going on, man? It's been a minute, bro. What's up, brother? Hold on, let's see. So we're gonna get more on that topic. I'm gonna switch you around, and we're going to get a train running in a second. I'll clean the lens. And you say, David, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by cereal box or railroaders and people chasing clouds and trying to tell you what to do and you believe in them and this and that? The thing is with that is no two railroads are the same, okay? And if Mr. Know-It-All comes and says that it's going to be the way it is on his railroad and it's going to be like that for you, he's full of shit and he's bullshitting you. It's not going to be the same, okay? Things are different, just like in life. Scenarios play different on every aspect that you do, okay? And of course, we're talking about a railroad here because that's what this channel does. It's a railroading channel and diecast channel, and we stick to topics talking about that, right? We don't meander too much. So, okay, Blake, that's cool. Okay, so before we get this train going, we're going to start with by talking about if someone is pushing the notion, they're talking about how trains perform, and we're talking about these big ass channels, right? These big railroading channels that they seem to put a notion on stamping a train, how can I say this? Um, ah, they'll do a review on it, right? And they'll do a review and they'll say, man, this train runs so good. It's an awesome runner. You should buy it. It's great. And they're running their stuff on flat track or on a small little railroad that goes corner to corner in a room, pulling a straight line of cars. Even though they're pulling like 20 to 30 cars, they're like, man, this is a great runner. I'll tell you now, that is not the way you test locomotives, okay? Any cheap locomotive will run great on flat track or in an oval. That's just not how you test them. So in order to get a good test on your locomotives, you want to do a pull test in inclines, okay? You got to have, in my opinion, you got to be pulling them in inclines. That's how you're going to know what your train does. That's how you're going to know they're great performers. And that's how you can stamp a train and say, that's a good locomotive, okay? That's just the truth of it. So again, these two welders here, and I will say to welders, y'all have some great locomotives. They work great. And not just on the notion of them running on this flat track here, they are banging out 3% grades, tight radiuses, all the way down to 18-inch radiuses with no trouble. And the only hiccup we have when we pull in hard trains and heavy trains is wheel slip. And that's from my doing because I put oil on my tracks. Okay? So, if you're listening to a serial box railroader out there and they're running on flat track, just know that they're not putting on inclines. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They are very, very heavy. I don't know exactly the weight on them, but if I take both those locomotives off and pull them by hand, you can feel the weight of those cars. So it's going up an incline, and that's putting a good test on these locomotives. And it's coming up this double helix I have here. And that double helix is a consistent gradient till it gets to the top, and it turns almost to 4% in one section here. And it runs great. So you can see that's DC. And that's another thing with DC locomotives, you don't have to worry about much braking on them. DCC, if you overload DCC, you will burn decoders. You put more amps through DCC decoders, you will burn them. And I love it when people blame the company. Oh man, they sold me a bad decoder. The first thing you ask, well, they won't tell you. You ask them, do you have protection in your layout? No. Well, maybe that's why you burnt decoders, because if you get a short on your layout and it goes through your decoder, you can burn your decoders in DCC. So that's another mistake a lot of railroad box railroaders make. Serial box, I call it. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, Eugene. I'm doing pretty good. Got my little cough syrup. We're doing all right. So, again, if you don't have protection on your layout and you're running DCC equipment and your shit burns up, don't blame the manufacturer. Blame yourself because you perhaps put a short in the decoder and burnt it. DC, you don't have to worry about that because DC is very robust. And basically all you have is power to a motor in DC, and it takes a lot to burn a DC motor up. Cough syrup, yes sirree. So for so long in this niche of hobby, you've seen serial box clout chasers, railroaders talk about so many things, and you just don't see the true tests from their reviews. You don't see, there's a lot you don't see. And that's why we do it over here. We put it to test, we try it, and if it works, you know damn good and well what you're getting. So again, Walther locomotives, heavy train, there you have it. That's my little pipe load I made out of straws. See, you can even make stuff out of scrap laying around. Yeah, Athearn's really good. Athearn's my number 2 go-to, but Walther's is my number 1 all day long. I already know what Walther's can do. Athearn, most of my Athearns work good, but they're not 100 proof like these Walthers. These are bulletproof. And I know that because, I mean, look what we're running here. Not bragging, but look what we're running. We're running hard radiuses, hard inclines. I mean, it's the proof is in the pudding, should I say. Another thing, I really wish, which it'll never happen, but I really wish manufacturers that build, you know, your train cars, Bachmann, Walthers, Athearn, I really wish they'll get better with their standards on their couplers, and at least their newer equipment. I can understand the old stuff is kind of, it's past that. But for your new stuff, I really wish they'll all get together and get their couplers in code with each other. I've been having a lot of issues with buying newer stuff, like the Athearn boxcar, those two Walders, and I had a Bachmann car I had to take off. That the couplers just do not line up on flat track at all. They don't. So you got to go in and shim, fix the damn couplers. And a good note is, if you have inclines on your railroad and you put your car with another car on flat track and it's a little off, make sure you fix that, because if you get in a dip, it will come unhooked. I got really like the AC for, oh yeah, Blake, yeah, hell yeah. So if you're building a railroad, guys, and you are debating on putting inclines, make sure you get your track shimmed, make sure you get your track consistent, and do not put dips in your track at all, because that's what gets your cars to uncouple. Inconsistent dips, it will uncouple. Noah, Amtrak, all right. So there you have it, man. We've been rolling good. I mean, this train here with this long train we have been running for weeks now, after I figured out the train car problem, they're working really good. These are still plastic wheels that I have to change to metal. And plastic wheels just do not work the same as metal wheels. They just don't. So if you can upgrade your couplers to metal, then you can upgrade your wheels to metal. You're doing yourself a favor. You even don't get the click-clack sound in plastic wheels. CSX, I have one. It's Rapido. Rapido, it likes to hang on track every once in a while. It's not terrible, but the snow plows will hang up. I get that issue on some of my locomotives. Rapido's really bad for that. Maybe I have a dip I have to fix. So yeah, guys, do your railroad the way you're gonna do it. And again, no two railroads are the same. Everything is different. And if you keep having problems, try to see where your problems are at. There's no one that's gonna know your exact problem but you when you're doing your own layout. It's just, it's impossible to know that, because every railroad's different. Now, techniques such as doing like static grass, that's all generic. You can, there's videos to show how to do static grass. I even have videos on that. Laying ballast, each his own with that. That's straightforward. But as far as trains running and track work, you're going to have to figure that out on your own, because it's going to come down to your own skill. Anybody can build a model railroad. It just depends on how well you build it, is the biggest difference. And the last thing you want to do is chase problems and not have fun on your model railroad. I believe in loop railroads. I cannot see myself standing like a schmuck going back and forth on a point to point. To me, will get tiring and boring really quick. And I like to watch my stuff run through everything that I built. It's most satisfying like that. So There you go. She's beast, bro. Look at this bitch. Coming at you. BNSF. She has not derailed yet. The funniest thing I hear all the time is the 22-inch radius, how people will talk and say dumb things about that. And it's like, look, dude, there's a 22-inch radius right there. You know, for me, you have to take up the most space that you want to sacrifice, and the less space you can have it on, to me, is smart. You know, so you can still get around. You can get around in your room, not banging around everything all over the place. Of course, that's where N scale comes in at, but who really wants to go down the N scale? It's kind of small. It's just too tiny. Ooh. That's a banging bitch right there. Look at that. Union Pacific. There you have it, guys. Feel free to leave in the chat what you're doing, what you're running, what you like. And yeah, leave it in the chat. Of course, these are my preferences. This is what I like to do. And I've done played on every scale you can imagine besides G scale. G scale, I don't feel like spending a lot of money, because the way in the world, the way things are now today, money is not falling off of trees, and shit is very expensive. I don't know, Sonny. I don't know. I'm not a train show guy. The closest train show I'll get is probably be around 300 miles away from me, or a couple of 100 miles away from me. And because I live in Louisiana, so there's really nothing that comes up available around here. I live in the bayou, man. And us bayou people, if you tell somebody you have a train layout, they'll look at you like you're crazy. Banging them bitches around. Again, that's a hybrid radius. That's a 22 that'll choke up into a 24 in that S here. So I think there's two sections that's 24-inch radius here. It's hybrid. I did that to come around my loop here. To come around, it works awesome. 6 on order. You have 5 BLIs. Damn, you got the deep pocketbook, bro. I quit buying DCC stuff. To me, DCC is overrated. I have DCC here. It's overrated. A decoder, a good decoder, is around $100, unless you want to be cheap and buy a cereal box decoder, which I don't want to do. But the sounds, and for the little bit more functions you get, 320 something bucks is not for me. It's too expensive. I can do a lot with $320 something. Say, David, buy this stuff used and put your own DCC. So if I put a Tsunami 2 into a locomotive, just the Tsunami 2 will run 120 bucks. A ESU would probably run the same price. You got Digitrax running. The little cheaper one's 30 bucks. Not messing with it. Single, no bills. Hell yeah. I got a daughter that's about to go to college. Yeah, you buy used. That's why I like these DC locomotives. 2 Walders here. These are brand new. Like, well, they were brand new. I bought them brand new, and they weren't that bad, man. They look really good, and they outperform DCC any day. Now, but with saying that, if my layout was smaller and I can keep the tracks a little cleaner, then we wouldn't have that much sputtering and whatnot with DCC. DCC is very, very finicky. So these DC locomotives, they just work. You know, you're getting direct, robust power to these locomotives, and they just fucking run, man. They badass. I have both DC and DCC, and those have no sound to have save me money. DC engines are hardy. Oh yeah, DC, you're done. I mean, if you burn a DC engine up, yeah, I would like to know what the hell you're doing to it, because the only thing you're gonna burn up in it is the motor. And again, these newer motors, they last. They work great. You like cheese? I like cheese too. I wonder if you like cottage cheese. Yeah, I got 2 steams. I got a BLI that's on the fritz. I have a BLI big boy that needs serious serious look over. I'm probably gonna send it back, but it's probably gonna run me another $200 to send it back. So I don't feel like giving them Benjamins just for them to fix it. So I don't know if I might turn it to DC. Yep. Oh yeah, Okie. DC, man. People think that DCC took over and that was it. Whereas people are pushing DCC. But if you're a beginner and you don't know too much about DCC, by the time you buy your controllers, your locomotives, and you set your layout to do that, you're going to be in a lot of money, okay? And if you don't know how finicky a DCC is with dirty track, you'll think there's something wrong with your locomotive. Whereas dirty track and dirty wheels have a lot to do with sputtering trains in DCC. Not DC, although you do have to clean wheels and track also, but not as much as DCC. DCC runs on a wavelength. It doesn't run on direct current. Thank you, Max. So as you see, our train's been running great. No hiccups, because we got good equipment running. So check out the submarine, bro, that we just did. That was on a video. So I have a video of me doing this. I was sick as hell, like a dog when I did this. But I used some cheaper resin, and it took forever for that resin to cure. So it took like 48 hours for that resin to cure, or 36 hours, something like that. It took a while. Yeah, I'm pretty confident, Max. Before I'll knock on wood, but I'm pretty confident with the train I got. It runs great. I model with DCC, but I use decoders. We usually rolls over the dead track sections. Okay, Sonny. Yeah, I used to be big in DCC, even in scale. But man, I damn near ripped my hair out. I was sick and tired of the sputtering. You hit a little bit of dust on the track, it would cough and sputtered, and you had to figure out how to put a keep alive in them. I ripped apart some Atherns to put a keep alive. Athearn does not make their locomotives with enough room. So I was like, why the heck? So I said, you know what? On a layout of this size, I just want something to work. Now, I keep saying this, but when I get down switching into here, obviously it's going to be DCC. But these rails are going to have to be spick and span, I'm out of DCC, but I use repeater stuff, which has the keep alive, the code you road there. Yeah, keep alive is going to be your thing in DCC. Oh yeah, if you buy a locomotive without a keep alive in it, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Make sure if you do DCC, put a keep alive, or get one with it. Daniel, actually, Daniel, that one wasn't that bad with the smell. Actually, my other, I'll go show you this over here. It, yeah, you're right. It does have fumes, but not that one. That one did not have fumes. As crazy as it sounds, it didn't. But this one did. Pouring this one here, this was the epoxy. That son of a bitch had fumes. And no, I didn't wear a mask when I poured this one. And yeah, it threw up a bad, nasty smell in here. But not this one. Not this one. It was some cheaper resin. I found it funny that it did not pose a fume in here. I was wondering about that. I said, well, I couldn't smell because I had COVID, you know, to an extent. I mean, I could smell, but not that great. So if I started walking crooked, then I knew it had fumes. So I didn't walk crooked, so we was all right with that. Yeah, Max Steam. Yep, this is a steamer right here, brother. Check it out. It's all packaged up. Hold on, let me get my stand. I'll show you. $10 stand, bro. Let's see if we can show you. Show you real quick. I get that question all the time for Steam. It's sad that this BLI. There's a decoder. That's one of your fancy decoders here. So if you push in too many amps through this decoder, you will burn it up. And that's what happened on this BLI. I'm reluctant on sending this back because I don't want to spend no more money. I don't have money falling out my ass, should I say, you know. But there's BLI here. What's happening, there's a short somewhere in here. And sometimes it runs, sometimes it jerks, sometimes it sits on the track, it doesn't move. I don't know what's wrong with this locomotive. I went through everything in here, so fuck it. It is what it is, bro. Oh, the Rolling Thunder. Fucking A, that sounds cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah, Outlaw, you go check out the video. It's on the video. It's hard, you know, the way I did it. There you have it. I'm just, lately I've been loving these little construction dozers and excavators. So, there's, Diecast Masters. That little bitch right there cost me $60, guys, for that. That bitch is clean, though. And I have some RC. Check it out here. Check it out. I got some RC stuff. So that was the mine truck. It was a letdown because it's so small. This truck's supposed to be way bigger than this, but it works, you know, the bed dumps. The little dozer was a little bitch to build. I built this almost 5 years ago. And that's cool. That's what I've been doing lately, messing with these little construction vehicles. How long have you had your big boy before it messed up? Oh, a good 3 years, I would say. Something like that. There's another steamer. That's a brass steamer. It's a good little steamer. My next, if I ever run into some kind of money or something, and I get a big lump of money or some kind of way, or I save, I'm going to be getting me a Athearn big boy. Uh, the BLI, it had a load sensing in it. So when it would feel the incline, it would stall. It never did pull strong. I have my diesel engines pull stronger than that. So I won't buy another BLI big boy ever. To save myself, I will never buy another BLI big boy. All I had was issues with that BLI since I got it. And the thing is, I like BLI because, you know, like here. That's a BLI. I love that little thing, you know. I love it. You know, they sweet and sour at the same time. Like, this is an awesome little locomotive, DCC. And for 800 bucks, you know, I always had trouble with that locomotive. Oh, it pulls like 40 cars. Damn, Max. Yeah, so that's the thing. If I'm going to save some money, one day, I don't know when, not anytime soon, I'll go ahead and get me an Athearn. Big boy. Be done with it. I know an Athearn, you're finished. So that's the biggest thing that I'm kind of thinking about is sending that thing back, man. I don't know what I want to do. That's good, Max. Yeah, they are plastic. That BLI is metal. It is a big die cast, but it's so heavy. Just pulling its own weight, it would sense it. The load sensing would hit, and your wheels will quit turning. You know, it barely can drag its own self up that grade. So I'm done with that BLI. I'm probably just gonna throw it to DC and leave it alone. It's so delicate. Even the tie rods, I don't know how the tie rods got bent, but the tie rods are bent. A couple of them are bent. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? You know, I didn't drop it. So I don't know. Hey, Daniel. Hello, man. I have Athearn Genesis 844. It's so cool, man. Yeah, but it probably runs like a beast, man. It probably runs like a scattered ape. You know, little bitty diesel engines outperform that BLI big boy. That's bad. That's bad. The worst thing that I can have is getting a locomotive. It pulls like shit. I hate that. I can't stand that, man. DCC was the worst for that. DCC is so restricted. You're not getting your full power like you want to in DCC. And again, you're running on a wavelength. It's a different signal. It's not direct current. Yeah, that's what's up, Max. Yeah, I can live with that, feeling how cheap it is. I can live with that. As long as that motherfucker works. That's what I'm after. If that bitch works, I'm good with that. I don't want to have a shelf queen that don't work. especially a shelf queen that costs 800, almost 800 bucks. I'll pass. Oh yeah, the detail is outstanding. Oh yeah, outstanding. Everything's cool with that. But man, hey guys, we were running those locomotives and train, nothing derailed. And look, we're running at a fast pace too. Look at that. Boy, another thing I can't stand is when people downgrade Atlas switches. Man, it's like when I was putting these Atlas switches in, everybody was giving me the stanky leg with that. They work. That's all we need to know. They work. Pico, I had to take some Picos out because the frogs and the rails were not compatible what I needed them to be. But these Atlas, they work. I got a short on that showing all my Atlas switches working. Again, the cereal box model railroaders out there will say, don't buy Atlas because it's cheap. And I'm scratching my head over here. I'm like, yeah, those Atlas switches I bought was around 22 bucks. And I bought one Pico switch for 45 bucks. With one, but both of them was like 80 bucks. And I end up having to rip them out. And these Atlas switches still work. So it makes me wonder, why are they saying that? Whew. So yeah, this is another, in fact, everything is Atlas. I think I didn't change, this is Pico here. That's some shit. See that Pico switch? That's some shit. That's got to come out. What it is, I showed on a video, these Atlas rails are beefy, and these are so thin, and they're power routing. So if you're relying only on the blade to give you power, you're screwing up. You have to, if you have a Pico switch and there are power routing, make sure you jump your power so that you have power from here into here, and you're not relying just on your blade to give you power. So that's what I had to do with this Pico, and I got to take this Pico out. It ain't worth the shit. The only Pico that's going to be on the layout is a 3-way because I need it for this, okay? For big boy, wait till scale trains redoes the MTH tooling at all do cast. Okay, Max, I'll keep an eye out on that. So yeah, that was another big thing that that was misled with Atlas switches. If we're talking about in scale, I don't know, because it's been a while since I played on in scale. But in HO scale, Atlas Super Switches number 6, boss all day long. Ooh, that's awesome. Look at that, sitting on this shot like that. Son, I don't get no better than that. Woo! I got to get my waterfalls working again, because I actually do have a leak up here. So I got to fix that. Hello, whoever said hi. Sorry, I can't read your name, my friend, but hello and thank you for stopping by. Ooh, look at that. Oh, hell yeah, with smoke? What? Oh yeah, smoke is always realistic. Booyah! DC, baby. Boy, I tell you what, the so-claimed cereal box gods will hate that they don't like DC. They want DCC all the way. And DCC is perhaps taken over to a limit. But the people that are watching their money and they want something that works, they'll always have DC stuff around, guys. Always. Because at the end of the day, old school always works. Period. Yeah, I got to do something with this plug. What I'm going to do is put a piece of board right here, like a piece of wood. I'm going to come like at an angle to cover that wiring for my AC. So it gives us a little bit better illusion, right? Even though these are model trains. Yeah, it's HO. Run DC smoke and sounds and everything right. Oh, man, that's awesome, Max. Hell yeah. Oh, we finally got a derailment. Finally got our first derailment. Let me go turn this off. See, I did talk too fast, though. First derailment. I don't know how many laps we had. Let's go fix it. That's another thing. If you having derailments a lot on a car all the time, like, I mean, constantly, put some weight in it. You know, that's kind of a thing that all of us model railroaders know. Just put weight in it. That's all that's wrong with it. Like, that right there is very light. And this is the first time this car derailed since I don't know when. It's never derailed. But it needs a little weight. Come on. All right, let's fire her back up. Yeah, put some weight in it. You'll be good. What I'm going to do is turn it back on, power it all the way down, and slowly power it back up because I don't want the jerk. Because if it jerks, it'll come unhooked again. I don't want to keep coming back and forth. Ah, it must have jerked. It came off. Look at that. Okay. Let's reverse the locomotive slowly. All right, we'll reverse it. Okay. Try not to be so shaky with you guys, but I'm just walking all the way around. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, that's too slow. Okay, what I'm going to do is pull the... Well, actually, no. Okay, the boxcar. That damn Athearn. No, the wall. Okay, it's the Walders. My bad. I thought it was the Athearn. The Walders came off. What the hell? Damn, whoa, what happened? Come on. Me playing around too much. Hold on, guys. It decided to give me issues, and I haven't had issues in a minute, man. I talked too fast. That was my fault. Okay. See, just me doing that, it's very heavy. Come on, little bitch. But that's one thing, trying to re-rail a damn car. Yeah, yeah. I know that was mine. I walked into that one. Man, look at those Walthers creeping. Look at that. They're moving. They're just slow. Look at it. Dang. Let's pull our pin. Our cheap, fancy lift gate that works like a charm. Bailey, trying to make a YouTube channel. On my favorite TV show, my interest in Lego chess trains and ships. What about you and content do you do? I do hobbies. I do all sorts of hobbies, man. This so happens to be my train hobby I'm showing now, but I also do Hot Wheels. And I'm thinking about re-upping my RCs on this channel. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing it. At this point, I don't care if it clashes with the channel. I don't give a shit about that. Because YouTube, you know, we're not making hardly anything with this. And I'm going to do what I love to do. Right? So, thinking about doing more RCs again. And getting my heavy equipment up running again. Maybe this spring. I feel that I want to get this bad bitch going again. As you can see, this is a RC excavator that I hand built. And that's what I feel like doing, man. Something's been calling me to do this. Oh, all hydraulic. Took some skill to build that in. Took some time. Look at that. That motherfucker's beast. Whew. Blake, it came off, brother. Yep. So if you see up there, I have all hydraulic. Like that's a hydraulic dump truck, a dozer, an excavator, a loader. Each one of those machines are $2,000 on up, $2,000 on up. Like that loader was like $3,600. That excavator was like $2,500. That dozer ran me like 3,000 something. That truck was like 3,800. And that little loader my brother bought, and he got in a pinch, and I gave him his money back for it. And that heavy hauler was pretty badass also. But my thing is why I haven't got back with it is because of the batteries. The batteries are so fucking expensive. So, yeah. Okay, let's see if I got it back up and going. Yeah, it's running again. I see it from here. Let me put a little bit more power to it. Blake, yeah, I found a few. I found a few, buddy. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of I've been doing a lot of custom work. I don't know if you've seen that. I did a Batmobile. This was chrome. But yeah, I got a few. Like I did a Matchbox video. And I found another super and a treasure. Let's see if I can find it. There you go. That's a super treasure right there. And that's a treasure. I love finding these vehicles. But as far as collecting, just to collect Hot Wheels, I don't really do too much of that no more. My interest is in like M2 and stuff like this, you know. So hell yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna be getting back into this RC stuff pretty soon. Show some real men some stuff, bro. Real men toys, right? The trains are awesome. They're just laid back as hell. The train hobby is so laid back. But it's fun building scenes and tinkering around with things, you know. That's what I like about it. Ooh. Smash that like, guys, for me if y'all can. I appreciate it. And I give y'all, thank y'all for also for coming in. I appreciate y'all, guys. Thank y'all. But look, my little fish. They hungry. Oh, my little fish. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. It's going to be like 20 degrees this weekend. I got both heaters. I got a heater here and I got a heater here to keep these little babies warm, man. I love my little fish. Yeah, Hot Wheels is all right. To me, Matchbox been bringing it, man. Hot Wheels got, like, I collect Hot Wheels for their certain vehicles and their super treasures and treasures. But I don't collect everything in Hot Wheels, though. You found the Black Widow. Man, you way behind, Blake. I got 2 of those babies. Actually, I got 3 now. That's a cool looking truck. In fact, I took one of these trucks and I did this number. Okay, 80s. You be burning up over there. Shit. I'm gonna have to snuggle up with my old lady. Keep me warm. South Florida. Yeah, that all you guys are gonna get cold over there. Yeah, you're right. You just bought an HO Big Boy? How much did that thing cost you, bro? That's awesome. That deserves a celebration. Woohoo! Hell yeah. Damn. You bought the 4014? Damn, dude. You stunting, bro. How much did that shit cost you, man? Oh, hell yeah, Rob. Trains are a good getaway from the real world out there, you know. It's a good stress reliever. It puts the mind to work. It gives you a sense of purpose and satisfaction in what you're doing, and you're like, you can look at it and say, damn, I built that, you know. And that's what's most important. And I think that's why train layouts, you know, has always been a thing especially in the USA. You know, I don't know about the other countries. I can't speak for them, but all I know is my upbringing and a lot of people's stories with their dad or their uncle or whoever got them into it, you know. It was a sense of escaping the hell, I would say, and it's only getting worse, you know. The hell and chaos of every day in the real world. I mean, if you're a working person like me or You're putting up with a lot of shit in the world. This is a good escape, you know? And you can build your own little world. Hell yeah, I ran out. So I believe, that's why model railroading is growing more. There's more people are tired of the bullshit, man. More people's tired of the bullshit out in the world, and you just want to be left at peace and alone and do something that they can enjoy. Oh, we had a little wheel slip. I mean, that's what, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, bro. See you later, Blake. Thank you for coming by. Go bowl them pins. Yep, I mean, at least that's the way I see it. I mean, us Americans, think about it. You go to work, put up with bullshit over there, you burned out, you come home, and you do the cycle and repeat every day, Unless you're lucky and you don't have to work. But us men, most of us men work. And we don't have the luxury of sitting at home all day. And at the end of the day, that's what we want to do, It's such an escape. We definitely don't want to go in bars and get in trouble. I agree. The last date I had, I thought she liked me, but only wanted to give her $2 fix her car. So I took the $2,000 and started working on my marketing. Oh yeah. Money hungry, bro. Money hungry, and it's only getting worse. People are chasing clout. They're not looking at the value in another person. They're chasing that money. They don't care. And it leaves you, a good loyalty dude with the bag open at the end of the day, wondering when your little bag's going to get full. And it never will, because that's just how conniving people are. So that's why we build our model railroad. Richie. Oh, he's talking to, okay. Yeah, good investment. Hell yeah. At the end of the day, I can say, this is mine. This is mine right here, right? Shit. "31 years driving buses, retired, got a good retirement. My wife's still working, got my health." Hell yeah, Pete. Yep, that's what's important. Your health, and you're still doing what you want to do, man. Yeah, chasing money, house is paid for. Oh yeah. That's at 2019 when I paid all my shit off. I was so happy. Right before that virus hit, man, I paid all my shit off. And a couple of years later, I started building this. Before that, I was just working, man. Just busting ass, working, raising my kid, and paying bills. Just, man. Finally do something that I like, huh? Shit, the system ain't gonna take that away from me. Well, guys, it was great chatting with you. I gotta go get me something to eat. I enjoyed the run session. We had one little hitch with it coming off. Not bad. And at the end of the day, you're building your model railroad. The best advice I can give you is figure out your problems, what you're getting into, okay? If you're having issues, only you're going to know the issue, what's wrong with it, okay? That's what the live was about in the beginning. Figuring out your own issues to work your issues out, okay? If you're waiting for someone else to solve your issues, you'll be waiting all day, because not every layout's the same and things are different, all right? So with that said, Thank you guys. Until the next time, we'll get these little trains running up again, okay? I'll catch you in the next one.